Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I just want to share some ideas with you in this playlist or in these episodes. That there is no institute, country, hospital, school, any military place, any organization in the world without a boss. And this boss gives the orders, and the people who are following him they obey his orders. Even when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to prove that He is the only God and this universe cannot have two gods in the same time, He mentioned this in Quran. Because they will conflict, they will have differences, they will have problems between each other. Because one God will need, or will, let's not say need, because God doesn't need. Well, one God will do something, and the other God doesn't want to do it. One God want to give living to something, and the other God doesn't want to do it. One God will sustain something, and the other. Or one God would destroy something or some city or somebody or some woman, and the other God won't do it. So the conflict will happen. So this is why in this life we do not accept the idea of having more than one boss in the same institution at the same time, because it will collapse, it will cause a lot of problems, and it won't succeed. So there are two things here. This is a base. Two things. The first is with the feminism. Feminism make the institution of marriage, the institution of family, because family is an institution without a boss. They are partners. When they are partners, the conflict will happen between partners, because this is life. If there is not a system, if there is not a boss that leads this relationship, then it will collapse. They want to make a woman obey her boss at work and not obeying her husband. And when you make a small comparison between the boss and the husband, you'll find that the husband gives a lot. He gives care and protection. And when he tell his wife to do something or not to do something, she would say, if she's a feminist, she would say, I'm not your slave, I'm your partner, I'm not a servant you bought from the market, and whatever the feminists with the feminism ideas, which is wrong, because the boss at work controls everything regarding to how she looks like and her life, and even the perfume she's putting, and what time she comes to work, what time she leaves, and he gives her maybe extra time. She would accept his face when he's not smiling at her, or when he is sometimes shouting, sometimes cursing, and she's still bearing this because of the salary he's giving. But the protection, the care, the money the husband gives, they want women not to accept any control or any monitoring of her behaving. And in the time of easiness or comfort, in the place of comfort, you will hear these equalities of these sounds. You will hear these sounds of equality between man and woman. In the places like Africa, when the life is hard, the man has to go outside and hunt sometimes and do a lot of hard work and struggle to get money and do agriculture in hard environment. You don't hear these sounds of equality, because if the woman claims equality with the man in this environment, then she will go outside and do exactly like him. And the feminism is built on selfishness. In the time of easiness in Europe or America or whatever, you will hear these sounds of equality. She want to share equality with the man in the time of easiness. There is no problem on sitting on computer and doing stuff like that. There is no problem with the woman on sitting in air condition and do her work. But in the time of disasters, in the time of war, in the time of bad problems happen to the entire community, they just stay at home because it's built on selfishness. I'm talking about feminism here. I'm not talking about the woman who knows her nature very well, that she follows the man, she follows her husband, she follows her father and respecting him. She's following her man, whoever this man is, her brother, and sometimes her son, because he's protecting her. In Islam, sacrificing yourself for your family, I mean here by family, your woman in family, your sister, your mother, your daughter, your wife, your kids, it makes you shaheed. It makes you shaheed. This is the third level in paradise after the most truthful one, and the first level is for the prophets. النبيين الصديقين الشهداء. It will make you martyr to die protecting your family. When you tell your family to do something or not to do, I'm talking about the wives here, to do something or not to do something, then they would say, I'm not a servant. If the woman is calling for equality all the time, she must be equal to the man in everything, even paying bills. She doesn't expect that the man give her the priority in lines in a store or something. She must not expect that the man will stand up and let her sit in his place in transportations. She must do hard work, just exactly like man. She has to share in everything. And this is actually harming women, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created man for leadership. And the woman always following the man. And he created the woman for something that's very important. Because the woman makes the man of the future. The woman makes the mothers for the future. So sitting at home and doing your work at home and cooking for your husband and care about him. And the Prophet ﷺ in many hadith talking, when this Sahabiya, she's a female Sahabiya, came to the Prophet and she said, you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala honored you as men with praying in Jama'ah. This is a reward. 27 degrees in paradise you get high when you pray in Jama'ah. And jihad. And she said, she talks about Jum'ah, praying Jum'ah. Jum'ah is not obligation on woman. And woman just stays at home. And he said, being nice, being good, being a comfort zone to your husband equal all of this. All of the what the man do, right? So this is something I wanted to share with you, because they play with the families. They want to destroy all the families. You want to destroy the leadership of the man. Man creates civilizations. Man is in front line in war. Man does a lot for the family, and he works a lot for his family, and he supports his family. If some woman are feeding rats, when some woman feeding rats, the first thing she would do is she asked for protection from the man next to her husband. Protect me from this. If there is a thief is entering the house and doing something bad, she's not gonna say, I'm equal to the man, let me fight, because feminism is built on selfishness. This is the way. The man is man and the woman is woman. Allah created the man for leadership and created the woman for house and caring about the family, caring about her husband. جزاكم الله خيرا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.